Before we get started, I want to thank and welcome my colleagues from the City Council, who we could not do this without. President Pro Tem Pichardo, Councilman Espinal, and Councilman Vargas. I had a chance to talk to the Council President this morning as well, and I appreciate the whole City Council's support through this process. I want to start by thanking all of the community members who participated in our outreach to select Providence's 38th police chief. I was pleased by the level of engagement that we saw through the survey and all of the people who participated in the forum earlier this week. I want to specifically thank Cedric Huntley and Mario Bueno for leading that forum, and Dr. Pablo Rodriguez, who was a part of planning it, even though he wasn't able to participate the night of. I want to particularly take a moment to thank Major Lanny and Major LePayton for their exceptional service to the Providence Police Department, for their participation through this process. I mentioned it on stage the other night. We had 3 finalists, any of whom would be an excellent chief of police, all of whom have served with distinction and will continue to do so. We have been blessed to have a strong and qualified command staff that is I think, a signal to all the hard work that has happened over the last several decades in the Providence Police Department to make us a national leader in what we do. So I now would like to instead share my excitement and say officially that Oscar Perez will be the city's 38th police chief. When we set out to find our next police chief, I knew that the ideal candidate was someone who had an intimate understanding of our community, that was eager to continue the excellence that we've seen in terms of major crimes and the reduction in violent crimes, but also willing to focus on quality of life crimes that affect our residents on a daily basis. Many of you in this room know Chief Perez firsthand because he's been so active in our community and has been a leader in the department for years. He has displayed professionalism throughout his career, and I am confident that he will take this department to new heights. I'm also proud that this is a historic moment for the city and for our department. Chief Perez will, in fact, serve as the first ever Latino chief of police, and I think that that is something to be celebrated and a testament to both his incredible hard work, but the community at large and their incredible contributions to our city. And so without further delay, I would like to introduce to all of you Chief of Police, Oscar Perez.
Very humbling words, I'll tell you that. Good morning, thank you for being here. First and foremost, I want to thank the Honorable Mayor Brett Smiley for having the confidence in me to lead this excellent professional police department. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you very much. I'm extremely proud, humble, and honored to have been selected as the next police chief of this great city. I know it's an amazing privilege to lead the men and women of this excellent police department. The city of Providence has seen me age and develop into who I am. This great city has provided me with the opportunities of a lifetime, and without a doubt has made a dream come true. I was blessed with the opportunity as a teenager to come to this beautiful country, and with the opportunity to grow up in this community, and to ultimately join the ranks of this professional organization, and I am extremely grateful for that. To the communities we serve in the city, my message is, we will continue to stay focused on providing high-quality services to our residents, excuse me, increasing our community partnerships with great organizations like the Nonviolence Institute, Family Service, and the Providence Center. We also will obviously work very hard to improve the quality of life in our city. To the men and women of this excellent police department, my message is, I thank you for the outstanding, courageous, compassionate, and constitutional police work you do day in and day out. I commit to both our community and the police department that I will do my absolute best to to provide you with the leadership and the services that you deserve. Thank you, Mayor, again, and this is a humbling moment. Growing up in the city and standing here in front of all of you goes without saying how proud and how humble and honored I feel. Thank you.
I'd like to just quickly acknowledge and thank the co-chairs of the Community Advisory Board for the Police Department, Cedric Huntley and Wendy Joring, and also Adam Greenman from the Jewish Alliance, who've joined us here today. At this point, we'll take questions.
Mayor, do you plan on appointing a public safety commissioner?
My position on the Public Safety Commissioner remains the same, which is it's not a position I intend to fill in the near term. We're going to wait and take our time and see if, in fact, there are gaps and if there are needs going unmet before we make a decision on whether that's a position that's necessary. And I don't expect to make that decision for several months.
Chief, what's your first order of business?
So first order of business is to be able to listen, meet with our community members, our community partners, our officers, improve on the work we're doing now, and obviously talk to the mayor's administration and figure out how we're moving forward.
Chief, how will you try to be most like Chief Clements, and how will you try to be different?
So I'm my own person, I have my own personality. I've been almost 30 years on this department. I have been able to build some great friendships. Hugh Clements is an outstanding man, and he was my mentor. And the reason I'm here today is because a lot of things that I learned from him. So I would continue to improve on some of the things he taught me, but I would definitely bring my own personality into this job that I've been able to be so successful with in our communities and build so many partnerships.
Un mensaje a la comunidad en español, por favor. Es un día histórico aquí en la ciudad de Providence como la primera persona de color y latino a ocupar este puesto. ¿Qué pasa por tu mente?
Sí, es un día histórico, eso es un día que verdaderamente me siento muy orgulloso de representar a nuestra comunidad latina. Pienso que nuestra juventud que vea lo importante que es que cualquier persona pueda llegar a un momento así. The question was, do you think this is historic? The fact that you have someone like myself standing here, what do we tell our community members? But I said that it's definitely a historic moment, it's a proud moment, it's a way to tell my community and the young kids out there that says that you can be here as well. So.
Mayor, you made the decision on who's going to have the number 2 spot.
No, we expect those decisions to be made in the coming days. The chief's going to take an opportunity to assess the current command staff and think about those future positions, and I would expect those announcements to come next week.
Is that the chief's call or your call?
It's ultimately the chief's call. I expect to be able to express my opinion on the matter, and obviously I've had a chance over the last several weeks through this process to get to know the other members of the command staff very well. But at the end of the day, that's the chief's decision that I have every faith and confidence that he'll make the decision in the best interest of the department.
Mayor, how much did the other night impact your decision? All three were good, but I thought the chief clearly kind of won the crowd. How much did that impact your decision?
So, the other night, which again is not something that has ever been done in Providence before, and as I said in my opening remarks that night, that was not a debate. There was not going to be a winner or loser from Thursday night. However, being able to effectively communicate with the community is a job requirement for the chief of police. And it's a job requirement that's very hard to test other than putting someone in front of a crowd. And so I was delighted to have the opportunity to both see all the candidates connect with the community. I was really happy that the community had a chance to hear from folks before the decision was made. We've heard time and time again that what real engagement looks like is not giving them a heads up after the decision is made, but bringing them in before the decision is made. And that's exactly what happened the other night. It was clear all three candidates did a nice job on Thursday night, but then Commander Perez, now Chief Perez, clearly connected well, was able to communicate well with the community, and gave me the confidence that I needed to see that this man will effectively be able to lead our department and take on that other responsibility that only the chief has, to be the face and the voice for the Providence Police Department.
How much weight you took from Huey Clement to select him as chief?
So Chief Clements was still on the job and actively involved in the interview process, and together we made the choice to select the finalists. At that point, he left for Washington, and he has not been involved in the process since then. So I'm happy and proud to say that he helped pick those three finalists. with me, but the decision today was mine and mine alone, and I'm excited with the choice that I've made.
Two questions. So is the chief being sworn in today, or does that happen after he's confirmed by the council?
So because the chief is acting chief, there's no additional paperwork necessary today, and we will be planning the ceremonial swearing in with all of the kind of celebration that he deserves in the coming days. And we've got to coordinate a couple schedules to do that. And it does not require council confirmation. It's an appointment by the Public Safety Commissioner, which in this case is me, and so there is no council vote required.
And so are you officially colonel today, or is that a formal?
He is officially chief today. Yeah, colonel, yes.
He's officially
Same,
colonel.
yes.
Okay.
Rank of colonel, position of chief. Right.
Okay, and Colonel, a question for you. You spoke the other night about recruiting and how it was important to have quality over quantity. Could you speak to that a little bit more, and what do you think the manpower of the department should be?
So when I mentioned the other day about quantity over quality, it's important to have the right officers with the right training, with the right life experiences to police the city. We're a majority minority city, and we have to make sure that every officer that we hire has the qualities to police the city in a proper constitutional manner. As far as the number, I don't have a specific number. That's something that I need to look at, see what the services that are needed in the community, what the community is requesting from all of us. On Wednesday, you heard a lot of people actually came up to me and asked me about patrol, foot patrol, bike patrol. That all takes numbers. So when we analyze that and we figure out what number, obviously we'll sit down with the mayor and the administration and figure out what the specific number should be for the city of Providence.
Colonel, do you have any position on SROs in schools at this point?
I think when I look at police officers in general, you have to have the right qualities, as we mentioned earlier. That includes SROs. When we have SROs that are properly the right people to be in the schools, and I say that because some officers may not want that type of job, but there's officers that really enjoy mentoring kids in our city, that really enjoy being in the school system. And I think that's critical to hire the right people. So I think it's a good place to be. The reason I'm here is because of a gentleman who happened to be a police officer in Central High School and told me about this profession. So I think it's critical to have the right people in the schools.
As you kind of self-reflected on the application process and everything, what do you think you need to get better at?
Me, myself, I think I just need to be better at, let's see, that's a great question. What do I need to be better at? I need to be better at being able to prepare quick questions like you just asked me.
Chief, what's your message to the other members of the Providence Police Department? When will you hold your first meeting? What should the other members of the department know today?
Well, they've known me for the last 30 years, and they got a lot of support. I've worked with one of the most courageous men and women that law enforcement has to offer. My message to them is that I feel strongly about the fact that I need to be properly trained, that I care about them. I don't think policemen, they don't care what you know until they know you care about them. And to me, it's critical, the training as well as their well-being, their wellness, and their own health is important.
Mayor Smiley, this is probably one of, if not the most important appointment you'll make.
It is. As we went through this process, in addition to getting to know the officers, I spent a lot of time talking to mayors around the country to educate myself in terms of pitfalls and concerns, and asking my colleague mayors how they made the choice and what they looked for. And what I heard from other mayors around the country time and time again was that trust and personal rapport and that one-on-one relationship is invaluable. And that weighed heavily on me. We had candidates, not just the finalists, frankly, all the applicants were excellent professionals. And then we've talked about some of the other pieces of the process, but the part that only I could answer was, who did I feel I had that connection with, that trust with? And so it is something that weighed heavily on me, and I spent a tremendous amount of time thinking about and getting to know the finalists. And so I say with confidence that the right choice was Oscar Perez, but it is a big decision, and it's one that was not taken lightly. We all know that I tried hard to keep Chief Clements, but I'm excited about the future. These things are about new chapters and new beginnings. And as much as we all love the former chief, I believe that Oscar Perez will take this department to the next level of 21st century policing. And that we're not going to be satisfied with just continuing to do what we have done, but instead to do even better. And Oscar's the guy to do that.
Could we ask Senator Cutler to step up for a moment? Is that all right, since he was part of the process? Cedric, I'd just like to hear, you were one of the moderators the other night. Tremendous turnout, interest, engagement, 3 finalists on stage. You know, what are your thoughts today? What were your thoughts the other night? And is this almost like a new chapter in Providence and public safety?
Well, first of all, it's a tremendous appointment for the city. In so many ways. Great story, excellent choice in terms of his experience and commitment to the city. So that's the first thing. And I, just like the mayor, I thought that all the candidates were excellent, but clearly Colonel Perez stood out. So I think it's tremendous for the city. It's what the city calling for. So.
Any other questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.